Hello, welcome back to Crush'em TV. And you can see that man before you there. San Francisco is about to pay $190,000 to an undocumented immigrant. Notice they say undocumented instead of illegal there, over sanctuary law violation, lawyer says. And before anybody goes off on me in the comments, no, it's not a person that is illegal. It is what they did that was illegal. And somebody crossing a border illegally in violation of the law, it is the act that is illegal, not the individual. So don't pull that BS on me. But California is getting really stupid. And here they are, they're going to literally pay for their own stupidity. A man from El Salvador in the U.S. illegally who sued San Francisco after police turned him over to immigration authorities. That's their crime. Because they did their job, he sued, and the stupid idiots in California have allowed him to win. That's how dumb these judges are. You know, they need to take all these judges in California and just kick them all off the bench. I don't know if it's something in the water there that makes people incapable of reading the Constitution and understanding the Constitution and the law. But he is set to be awarded $190,000, according to his attorney. The guy's name is Pedro Figueroa Zarceno, 33. He reached the settlement agreement with the city's attorney's office, said Sarah Hussein, a staff attorney at the Asian Law Caucus. Why in the hell is the Asian Law Caucus represent him? He's not Asian. I mean, El Salvador is Hispanic. I don't quite get that connection. The agreement must be approved by the Board of Supervisors. So there's still hope for some common sense to prevail here. Not that I really care what happens to California. They made their own bed and let them rot in it. I don't care. I'm tired of California. I'm tired of Hollywood. Hussein is quoted here. It's really important for San Francisco to remain a sanctuary city, not only in name but in practice. No. There should be no you don't have sanctuaries for robbers, thieves, murderers, or any other kind of lawbreaker, pedophile, illegal pornography. There's no sanctuary for anything else. But yet with this one thing, just because 11 million people did it, we're supposed to suddenly have a sanctuary city for them. No, that's bullshit. There's a law, they knew the law, they chose to break it, they are adults, they can deal with the consequences. Is it sad in some cases? Yes, it is. But it's nobody's fault but their own. If I choose to break a law, I pay. There's no sanctuary city for me to run to for any other law that you break. This entire idea is a farce, and it should not be condoned. And here they are about to pay a guy $190,000. Now, he's a construction worker. So now now keep in mind they always maintain, well, illegals only come here to do the work that nobody else wants to do. Well, when people look at me, all they see is a white guy. And that's not 100% true, because I have a significant amount of Indian in me as well. Enough that I could claim, but the federal government makes all kinds of hoops. It makes it ridiculous. You can't just check it off based on genetics. They tell you that you got to go out to some tribal thing and do all these tribal things on a reservation, which is racist bullshit. I mean, but my point is that here he is with a job that people want. And here, where I live in San Antonio, I go down to try to get a construction job, and I can't get it because I'm not Hispanic, because I don't speak Spanish. They'll tell you flat out, well, a lot of these guys, the only thing they speak is Spanish, and if you can't communicate with them, that won't work. So I get screwed out of jobs here in the United States that I want to get because they pay better than the other things that I have, and I go down to get it and I can't get it. And here he is, a construction worker in San Diego, taking a job that another American like myself would want but can't get because of people like him. But yet, on the nightly news every night, they lie to you and tell you, oh no, they only come here to take jobs people don't want. Bullshit. Right there is part of your proof. You can see it with your own eyes if you get off your butt off the couch, off the internet, and go down into the city and look at any construction crew. Now, that's not going to be true everywhere in America, but it is true in San Antonio. It is true in San Diego. It is true in a lot of these major cities that are close to borders that have higher immigrant populations than what the U.S. Census data tells you. So he's a construction worker. He goes to the police because his vehicle was stolen. His car had been found. And instead of helping him, he says, officers detained him and called immigration authorities. And you know what? That's their job. They're supposed to do that. I applaud them for upholding the law. And screw anybody in California that tries to tell them different. You know, their duty is to uphold the federal and the state law. Now, he was taken into custody by federal authorities outside the police station and was in jail for 2 months. He's been fighting his deportation since his release. What happened to me was very unfair, and it was an injustice. You know, now, see, I find it funny there that he says it's an injustice, because that tells you right there, in his mind, he did not do anything wrong. He does not recognize that he broke the law or that he committed an illegal act by, crossing the border in the way that he did. There's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. People are not against immigrants. They are against people doing things in an illegal way. Everybody is for immigrants. We've all got ancestors that came here from somewhere else. Part of my ancestry came from Europe. They were actually here before the country was, back in 1630. The other part of my ancestry is Indian, and of course they were here before anybody. Nobody is against immigrants. What they are against is people coming here illegally. That's the only thing. Do it the right way. And yeah, there are problems with that system, and yes, they need fixed. But that's a whole separate subject. It does need fixed. But for him to sit here and say it was an injustice that he got busted for breaking the law is ridiculous. He doesn't see as getting his due or paying for what he should have paid for to begin with. I went to the police station to get help. They didn't tell me what was happening, which is very likely untrue. And they arrested me and treated me badly. I mean, seriously, come on. I mean, nobody that ever gets arrested felt like they were treated great. I mean, that's just a poor me, oh, nothing's my fault type mentality, but that's, there's millions of people out there like him. Now, the city law is in violation of the federal law and actually prohibits law enforcement from cooperating with federal immigration. And that right there is a problem, that you have cities making laws that violate federal law. Now, I am a proponent of states being stronger than federal, but when the states join the union, they all agree to certain things, and one of the things they agreed to is that the border is the federal government's job, and the border laws are the federal government's job, and it's their duty to enforce them. Now, in order for the federal government to enforce them, they have to have cooperation from the states and the cities. You know, it's part of what they agreed to when they joined the union. And of course, California goes on to try and claim that part of the law's purpose was so that immigrants would report crimes that they would be afraid of disclosing for fear of investigating officers turning them over to immigration. Again, deflecting the fault onto the feds or the immigration people instead of being on the fault of the people that broke the law in the first place. Now, this is a major issue, and there's a House bill that is going to deny federal grants to sanctuary cities, and Kate's law is coming along, which would increase penalties for deported aliens who try to return to the U.S. Illegally, not legally. They can still come back legally, without any hitch, as far as I know. But this is a major problem. Guys like this thinking that they can break the law, cry foul, and then actually get paid for doing it. Maybe I ought to go break some laws and then sue the state for enforcing the law. I mean, is that what we're going to encourage now? So somebody murders somebody and then they sue the state for enforcing the law and arresting them? Or you sue a cop for giving you a speeding ticket for enforcing the law? Well, I felt bad. It hurt my feelings. Now I'm afraid to go talk to the cops. Come on. America's got to wake up. And stuff like this has got to stop. Remember to punch, like, and subscribe.